Right, okay. Today we're going to take you through the process of building a timber roof. So this is going to be a Victorian. It's got two V-lugs in and a full light wall system. So we're in our depot now. This is where we manufacture our conservatory roofs. So you see we've got our stock lengths of 5x2 and 4x3. We've also got our insulation over here, some of our sheet material. So we've got OSB, insulation, got some MDF there when we do some manufacturing of furniture, etc. But these are our stock lengths. We've got 5x2 here in 4.8 lengths. We had them delivered today, which are quite wet, but so we'll have to try and dry them out. 2x1 tannalised batten, and we've just got a couple cut. They're on the floor there, and I'm going to take you through the process of how we fit the roof from start to finish. So we've got our drawing on the board here. We've just cut that, which is our 900. So 900 is internal to internal. We've done our 2930. We've done this 900, and we've just cut this 3170. So your 3170 is external to your internal. And because we've got a 135 corner here, it means we've got a 22.5 mitre. So easiest way to explain that is that's 90 degrees. So this mitre here is 45, yeah? When you've got a Victorian that comes like that and comes like this, these are 135 degrees, but this here, these mitres are 22.5. The reason why the 22.5 is because it's half of 45. So if this is 90 degrees and that's 45 degrees mitre there, we're going to half it. So 22.5 plus 22.5 equals 45. And the trick is with roofing that it always works back to 90. So we've got a 22.5, 22.5, another 22.5 on this, and then everything will work back to 90. And everything's going to come back to the house nice and square. So if we have this, we have an Edwardian, Victorian there, we have Victorian here, and come off. When it gets to the house wall, it's going to square up from there. Yeah? So this cut that we need is 3170. Internal, so let's have a look at that. Get my hair out of the way today. So this is a 4x3. This is what we call a wall plate ring beam. This sits on top of the windows, and that's what the roof's going to be sit on, and that's what takes all the weight and spreads it from the PVC windows. So this is what we call external to internal. So that's going to be the house wall, and this is 3170. You want to come and have a look at this, Lewis? Just show the viewers. We've got 3170. Let's have a look on the board. Yeah, 3170. So this can go here. Okay. Get all these screwed up in a second. Next one. Put another 4x3 on. We want 3170 again. 3170 is here. Remember, it's going to be internal, so put a little speed square on it here, just so you've got a straight cut, and then I just put a little mark on it here to know that it's going to be internal cut, so I'm not cutting into my mitre. Make sure you always back on the chop saw. And if you have a look here, Lewis, our mitre saws are set to 22.5. Yeah, okay. So when we cut this, everything should be back. Okay, when using your chop saw, I advise you use ear protectors and some eye protection as well, just so you don't go in your eyes. I'll go and grab them in a second. Okay, we're going to put this in now, Lewis, and this will make up the ring beam. There we go. See, these cuts should come nice together like that. What we're going to do is we're going to start getting these screwed and cut. You can see we've got nice cuts and nice finishes on the ring beam, yeah? That's how it should be. Right, okay. Let's get this all braced up and then we'll cut back, yeah? Okay, we've got the ring beam done. We've put some battens across the width, both at the back and at the front, just to stop it moving whilst we're working. Let me just come and show you the drawing. And we're just going to double check everything. So if Lewis can do two things at once, both hold the camera and hold the tape, we're just going to check our internals before we start building all our rafters. So we want 4.2 internal to internal. Could you do two things at once, Lewis? We'll see. Right, so internal to internal, please. Let's have a look. We've got 4.2. Let's move over to our front over here. They'll do, yep. Just on your edge, internal to internal. We've got 4.2 spot on. Right, okay, what projection have we got, Lewis? Let's have a look. So external to internal with 3.8. And if you have a look, with 3.8. Yeah? You see? Cool. We got it. Right, so we know all the ring beams right, and we've braced the width to stop the ring beam from moving. Next job, these have been screwed on these hips here to stop these moving, but we're going to put this brace in as well. That brace goes on here. It's going to be screwed in there. Temporary screws in here. A dead man, a top tip, if you're going to start building these, there's a couple of people that watch these videos. There's obviously the end users, the customers. They like to see how the roof's being built. But also we've got some tradesmen, we've got some DIYers. We've also got some guys in the trade that would like a bit of advice and some tips on how to build things now, to, you know, a couple of techniques that might help them along. So this is a dead man. So when we put our ridge in here, we can sit it on a piece of timber and we can screw it into this this dead man. This dead man's more useful than Lewis and Tipper. Let me give this a name. So then we can level our ridge up, and then we can start working both left and right, and then start bringing our hips in. Okay. You can have a couple of these. You can put one at the front. You can put one at the back. Now you don't need to brace it to the wall, but if you've got a wall, I recommend you do this because you can make sure that your roof is going to be level to this back wall. This represents the party wall on the customer's house, so it's a good idea to work back to a wall if you can. The right angle. Obviously, once you're laying out your conservatory roof, these are really handy. So basically, this is at 90-degree triangle. So we know when that goes back to the party wall, that this wall plate is going to be at 90 degrees. If, for example, our wall plate was like that, and we built it without using, you know, the set square, then the good chance that the conservatory roof is going to run out. So always get that in, and then you know it's going to be a true 90. Okay, the next job, we're going to find our centre. So we've got our drawing here. We know that our internals are 4.2 internal to internal. So to find where our ridge is going to go, we need to find a centre. So you divide that by 2, so 4.2 is 2.1. So we've got 2100. So we've got to measure 2100, 2100 here, 2100 there. That's going to give the centre of our ridge. This ridge is going to start coming down here. Now there's 4 or 5 ways of building these roofs. I find this is the easiest. You can work it off pitch and work it back to 90. You can use a bit of string and do your bevels, do your plumb, do your seat cut. But this is my preferred method. I'm going to talk you through the whole process, and I find it the easiest. Once I've found my centre, I'm going to put my ridge in. I'm going to say my ridge is going to go there. I'm going to put my ridge in longer than it needs to be. Now, if I'm working to 25 degrees, that's obviously going to be too long. I can always cut it off afterwards. So if I put a ridge in here longer than I need to, then when I bring my centre ridge in here, I can then decide how much pitch I want on that front, and then just simply cut my ridge back to suit that rafter that I've put in there. Once I've got this and this, I know that the roof is central and the ridge is in line, then I'll start throwing my hips in, yeah? Like that, okay? So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to cut this ridge. That's the ridge, yeah? Let's get that done. So we've got the ridge in. This is the dead man that I was telling you about. Let me just show you what we need to do to get this level. So just come and have a look at this. Basically, when we're putting a ridge on here, we want it, if you're ever so slightly off level. So we want the ridge slightly up, so that when the weight goes on it, it'll just reduce back down to level. So that's perfect, exactly where we want it. We've got a bit of support in here to hold our ridge, and we've got a couple of spars in already. So let me show you where we're up to. So we've done a template for the left, we've done a template for the right, and we've got a couple of rafters on already. So let's come and have a look at these. So when fitting these, this is what you call a plumb cut. That needs to be lovely and clean on the ridge. As it gets to here, for your wall plate or for your ring beam, this is called a bird's mouth. So everything works back to 90. And what we've got to check to make sure all our rafters are not all over the place is what we call a height above wall plate. So a height above wall plate we want is 100 mil. You can see that's 100 mil. Yeah. And then come over to the next one. And let's just check that. 100 mil. Right, okay. So another way of checking it, you can measure height above wall plate or just get a level. And this works better if you've got more rafters on than two. And then just put your level on like that and it won't rock. When we put our third one on, fourth one, if there's any gap under our level or your level starts to bounce like that, then basically your rafter's not level. It basically means that your seat cuts are either too low or too high. So now we've got them two on, let's show you what we've done. So we've made two templates. This has got TR on, so that's for the right hand side. Let's go and have a look at that. Check everything fits now, we've screwed that up. Okay. So if you're working on your own, just get that bird's mouth on, lock that into place, get that against the wall, and you can come and have a look at this, Lewis. That should be tight over there on the ring beam, yeah? And this here should just need a little tap in like that. Perfect. Come and get these cuts there. Well, that's how you want it. This is also going to have a vault in. So that's the template here. And if we've measured it right and done our centre correct, just go and have a look at this, Lewis. No matter where you go on your width, every one of them should be spot on. Yeah? Okay. Right, let's make some more of these. Mark your plumb cut. Come over to the bird's mouth. Okay. 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 Let's get that cut. The time when it's going to snatch is about here on that last bit that you're cutting. Okay, if you feel it start getting tight on your blade, just stop, because there's a bit of pressure somewhere, and I would imagine it's this side here. So let me just show you that for an example. You can see we've got so much timber here overhanging. That weight here is basically popping that timber up. So if we move it over a little bit, spread that weight, let's pop that back on. Move these closer together. Let's see if I can still feel that tension. See, I'm able to cut through that nice and clean. If I want to adjusted that weight, then what will happen is as I'm cutting it, the blade's going to snap to the timber and it's going to fire back to me. So just try and make sure you're evenly balanced. You can see it. You can see here, can't you, that it's not balanced. But it wasn't as bad as it was. If I come over here, look at this, just for your benefit. See that? It's quite a lot. Start to bring it over. It's not kicking anywhere now, is it? Yeah. Right, okay, so that's that. Got to pay a little bit more attention with it. Because the wood's so wet, you can't see your pencil line very well, so just take your time. Okay, make that cut. Okay, and we're just going to finish this bird's mouth off by hand, yeah? What you want to make sure is no snots here. Just make sure it's nice and clean, okay? This is one that we just made, so let's go and see if it fits. Nice and tight there. Okay, bring it over here, Lewis. And it should just require just a little tap. Like that. Yeah? Happy. Good stuff. Let's start making some more, Lewis. This is me and you, look. I'm doing Lewis today.
The difference is mine's cut.
See if you can see what we're doing, Lewis.
Pictures of what I use, what I
Difference is, look, I've only got a small forehead. What have you got?
Oh, yeah, bugger off with forehead. Jesus Christ.
I'll go a bit faster while it's recorded. Have you got it? Yeah. Okay. Here she comes in 3, 2, 1. None. Minus 1. I'll get it, don't worry. Same, it's 28.90. 28.90. So what we want to check here is that everything's nice and tight. Okay. And then we want to check our height, which got a pencil on. And we've got 100 mil. Okay. So we're good to fire that. Don't send them all the way in as well. Just keep them like that. And just check nothing's pierced through. So that's fixed. Another way you can check, there's no camber and there's no anomalies between the rafters. So just put a straight edge on it and everything should touch. Yep, nothing's rocking. Okay, good. Right, let's do another one. Right, so what you want is, if you can show the camera, you want a nice tight rafter, both on the ring beam and up here on your hip and your bevel and your plumb cut. It wants to be touching everywhere. The rafters are now all fitted, the ring beams in, the 5x2 rafters, the ridge, they're all bird's mouth. Put some braces on the hips, and now we're going to get on with boarding the roof. So I'll just show you what it looks like now. I'll just flip that round so you can see it a little bit better. So there's your hips. There's some of your spacing in between your your hips here, just so we can get to 600, so there's no bounce in the boards. All the rafters in, all the jack rafters. See, we've got some nice tight cuts on the bird's mouth. What we've done on this customer, they haven't opted for external soffit lights, but we are going to be putting a 90mm soffit on. I just think it looks a little bit better when it's a bit deeper, a deeper soffit rather than just being flush. These battens at the moment are just temporary to stop the roof from spreading. Let's go up and have a look at the ridge. Okay, good. Yep, happy with that. Okay, let me show you the other side. On this side, on the left-hand side, they're going to be having a full height wall system. For some of our regular viewers, you'll know what that is. So these rafters have been cut flush. So that wall's just going to come up there. We haven't cut the last one, just we'll do that when we take it down, rather than ruining our saw on that back wall. We'll do that when we take the roof off. Right, so next step is to label all the rafters, starting from the left-hand side. I know Lewis likes to start from the right and work his way backwards, don't you, Lewis? But here, we do it from the left. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get them all labelled up. Let it all get flat packed. It'll be loaded onto the van, and we'll take this straight to site. It's just going to be less time when we're on site. When we've got the roof off, we can get it off and on, you know, within a couple of hours. You've seen in the last video, the roof's normally on by about 11 o'clock, something like that. Okay, let's get that sorted. Let's see if she fits. Let's have a see. Oh. Hand and glove?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, let's show that actually. So we're in the centre of the hip here. So we've got equal spacing of a board that we're going to touch. You see that line's too lovely. Is that top? Right, okay, just want to show you the roof. It's now been built. It's fully done. We've boarded it, so all the boards have been cut to shape. They've been tacked in, just screwed into place, and then we're going to start. Have you already labelled it now?
It's already labelled up, yes.
It's already labelled, right, okay. So he's labelled up all the boards. Then we're going to start taking the boards off, and then we'll video the structure, because you didn't see that before the boards went on. And then, depending on how much time we've got, we're either going to take it down, load it up, or we're going to flip it upside down, do the insulation, do the battening, and then start taking it down and flat packing ready for the job, okay?
And you can see it labelled up, Lewis, if you come across. So this is the front elevation. So
looks good.
Front, bottom left, front, bottom right, then you've got front, top left, front, top right.
Okay, good. Right, okay. That's all the roof packed up, flat packed. And it's on the trolley, ready to be loaded onto the van. What's that?